So what is the best waterproof iPhone 7 case between the Lifeproof Fre, Nude, the Dog Bone Wetsuit Impact and regular wetsuits, Catalyst Waterproof Atomic 3, and the Pelican Marine? For everyday use, I would stick to a Lifeproof Fre, Pelican Marine, or a Dog Bone Wetsuit Impact. However, if you need the flexibility, the Atomic is going to be the case, your go-to case. And if you're definitely taking your iPhone in the water, you're going to go with the Catalyst waterproof case. With that being said, the Catalyst is also a decent day-to-day case. I've personally used all these cases with my own iPhones. This one has a crunchy screen to it because, well, it's not because of the case, but that story I'll tell you in a second. But I've rated them all in the same manner, and I'm going to tell you which ones I think are the best. And they're not always meant for the same purpose. And I'll elaborate on that in a minute. Products that I'd stay away from, the Dog Bone Wetsuit, definitely stay away from that one. And one I'd be careful about getting, I'm really on the fence with this product, is the Lifeproof Nude. Now you might be wondering, why would I need a waterproof case for my waterproof iPhone? Well, the iPhone technically isn't as waterproof as these waterproof cases. It's rated to IP67, these cases are rated to IP68. I've done another video elaborating on why you would need to get a case, and it depends on what you do. You could check that in the links or the description section below.
Real usage, real reviews. MobileReviewsA.ca.
At MobileReviewsA.ca, we base everything we do on actual usage, which means that we'll save you the trouble of wasting $80 on this case. I've been using waterproof cases since the iPhone 5. I've taken a bunch of iPhones in the ocean and whatnot, and I do have to say before getting to the list is that every one of these cases will affect your call quality and sound quality. Number 5 is the Lifeproof Fre. It is a decent day-to-day case. This is probably one of the most popular cases to get for the iPhone 7, as you'll see these products in their big box, in a big box electronics store. Now, just because it's number 5 on a list, it isn't a bad thing. In fact, this iteration of the Fre is probably the best to date. One of the most attractive features of Lifeproof is their warranty. If the case breaks, they'll probably send you another one for free if you pay for shipping. Now, the buttons on the case are a little tough to use, and the screen still diffuses the Retina HD screen of the iPhone. It blows my mind that that still happens. One of the downsides is that the durability of the case is, I'm not quite convinced about it because it did break after 2 drops on a sidewalk, which isn't great. In terms of sound, the Fre is the best sounding case on the list as it offers the least amount of muting, which is kind of why I say it's a very good day-to-day case. The handling of the Fre is quite awesome as the entire case isn't slick. The texture holds up well when the case gets wet, which is something I can't say for the next case on the list, the Pelican Marine, which is number 4. Now the score difference between the Pelican Marine and the Lifeproof Fre is actually very close. In fact, the only reason why the Marine scored higher was because it's just a smidge tougher than the Fre. No amount of dropping that we did resulted in the case breaking or coming apart, which is something I can't say for most of the other cases on this list. Now, if you're looking at the broken screen in this video, the screen did not break in the Pelican. It had already cracked, but after dropping it about 8 times, well, the screen just kept cracking, and now I've got a crunchy iPhone inside a case. The Marine is a bit larger than the Fre, and unlike the Fre, will slide around easily when placed on its back. Sound coming from the Marine was decent, as it only muted the sound slightly. The screen does have a bit of diffusion, but it's very hard to notice it. And despite having a slick back, does handle decently as the front edge of the case is quite rubbery. Number 3 goes to the Dog Bone Wetsuit Impact. If you're looking for the best day-to-day waterproof case, the Wetsuit Impact is the one to get. The standout feature of the Impact is the size and build quality. It is slimmer than most normal unwaterproof cases, and it comes with a flexible glass screen protector, which is pretty cool because it hasn't broken despite installing my iPhone into the case probably dozens of times for the review. I can't say this for their older version, so kudos to Dog Bone for improving their product. Now the front of the case is a bit slick for my liking, and the sleep power button is quite stiff. Taking calls isn't going to be an issue, but listening to music, you might notice a bit of muting, as the sound coming from the iPhone in the case isn't as loud as other cases. One of the features that I like about the Wetsuit Impact is the fact that the plugs are removable. In the off chance that you tear a plug, it is easier to get a replacement plug rather than to get another case. Torn plugs is something that I've seen on Ghosttech Atomics if you're not careful. Now before we get to the top 2 cases and the 2 cases that I probably wouldn't get myself, if this video was helpful to you, considering getting one of these products, there is a dog behind all these things. Consider getting your product through my website, as I've probably spent over 100 hours between all these devices writing reviews and creating these videos for them. So I've put in a lot of time to tell you which ones to get and which ones to stay away from. Number 2 goes to the Ghostek Atomic, and this is a beast of a case. It is big and will prevent your iPhone from bending. I wouldn't consider this a day-to-day case because the usability of the iPhone screen isn't great. And it also isn't the most waterproof, but it's the only case whose buttons aren't hard to use, so why is it number 2? Because the Ghostek Atomic offers the most flexibility out of this case on this list. Now the Atomic is designed to work with a screen protector, and there's no other case on this list that can claim that. It also works with skins, which means you don't have to take anything off. One of the most asked questions on my channel is, can I use a screen protector with a waterproof case? And the answer is generally no, unless you get the Ghostek Atomic. Now my scoring system takes into account the versatility of the case. Now, it's not as waterproof, it offers way more drop protection than anything here, but for those days you need an extra bit of protection, you could definitely just pop your iPhone into the Ghostek Atomic and not worry about having to take your skin off or take the screen protector off. It's just very handy to have every once in a while. You're going tobogganing, throw it into the Ghostek Atomic. You're doing something near water, throw it into the Ghostek Atomic. You're going to a family barbecue and you don't like talking to your parents, so you get yourself very, very hammered. Well, throw it into your Ghostek Atomic because, well, you're gonna probably fall or fight, I don't know. Number 1 goes to the Catalyst Waterproof, and it ranks higher than the Ghostek Atomic by a score of 0.01. But we gave the Catalyst high marks for completely different reasons. The Ghostek Atomic, as you just saw, very versatile protective case for your iPhone. But the Catalyst Waterproof is the best waterproof case for anybody who's going to do anything near water. In fact, if I was to go on vacation right now, and I really want to, and my vacation would require me to go swimming in an ocean or a lake, the Catalyst Waterproof case would be the only case I would take. Why? Because it's waterproof up to a depth of 33 feet. That's 5 times the depth of the Fre, Wetsuit Impact, and Marine. You couple this case with Catalyst's wrist strap, and you've got an unbelievable setup to capture underwater footage with your iPhone. As a day-to-day case, the Catalyst works slightly better than the Fre and the Marine. I do like the Wetsuit Impact for day-to-day because it's so much smaller. The rotary switch on the Catalyst is great. For sound, the Catalyst isn't as crisp as the Fre, but it is better than the Marine and the Wetsuit Impact. The only downside, from my perspective, as a day-to-day case is that it is a bit bigger than other cases. So those are the top 5 cases. Now, I know I only have 7, but I will be adding to the list, so do check out my website whenever you're watching this video to see the complete list. 2 cases that I have questions or concerns about. The first case is the Dog Bone Wetsuit, this one. I would stay away from this. The Dog Bone Wetsuit, this doesn't have a screen protector, and it's cool that it doesn't, but it's kind of a novelty. The edges of the case really get in the way of accessing the edges of your touchscreen, which isn't great. Sound coming from this is lower than the Wetsuit Impact, which is weird because they're both Dog Bone cases. And the last thing is that I've gone through 2 of these cases. The first one broke. No, the first one, the buttons didn't work at all because it was completely tight. This was the second one, and it's the reason why this iPhone is cracked. The case did not stay together, and the iPhone went bang and landed face first on a sidewalk and ended up cracking the screen. Now, the second case, the Lifeproof Nude, I'm really on the fence on. It has a very slick back, so it handles like a wet bar soap, or it slides around like a wet bar soap. Now, Lifeproof did this on purpose, making it this slick. So if you need something, a waterproof case that is slick, then yeah, definitely go with the Lifeproof Nude. Now, both these cases don't have screen protectors and are waterproof up to 6.6 feet or 2 meters. In terms of screen usability, I have to give it to Lifeproof. They definitely made their Nude better over time. Now, it's a very wide case, which is why you can use the screen, because they've managed to figure that part out, but it's just a bigger phone. If you're using this with the iPhone 7 Plus, if they make it for it, it's going to be massive. You might as well just be holding onto an iPad mini, in my opinion. So if you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments section below or find me on any of my social media pages. Again, if you found this video useful, consider getting it through my site because, again, there's a lot of iPhone cases and a lot of time spent. I'm thirsty and parched. It's beer, buddy. Oh, Friday afternoon cheat meals always start with a beer. I'm so excited to eat in a few hours.